How do you like my miming? It's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. So this is why you don't have hotkeys for things, because hotkeys do not work. I trust that you can hear me now. Well, there we go. Comedy. It's what I do here. Comedy. There we go. Technical issues right from the start. That's how we do things. So for those of you who can read lips, you will know that I was attempting to say, welcome to the Town Hall. This is the 31st Town Hall of the year, the second of the year, of entirety, the second of the year. You should be able to hear me okay, alright now. Hot damn. Okay, so if you've never been to a town hall before, essentially it is I was going to say it's a sit down, it's not a sit down for me today. It is a sit down talk. We kind of go over the channel, what we do here. You can ask questions about characters, about me, about what's going forward. We can shoot the breeze essentially. It's a chance just to, you know, hang out. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. So, how you been? How you been? Hope it's been a good start to the year. Janet is alive. She's well. She's doing okay. Thank you for asking. Occasionally, I am going to have to shoot off down to the side, which is where I have chat today. So it's where I have you. So I'll be seeing you all down here. Volume's a little low. Yeah, for some of you who haven't seen me since the start of the year, the beard is missing. And yeah, Pringles, it is a horrifying picture. I feel like you quite possibly could have chosen a better picture for us to have as the display for the Legionnaire of the month. But you know, whatever you do, it's fine. It's fine. Thank you for the kind words, both A-Rate and Quesion. I have to agree, Nathan. It's a beautiful picture. It's a face I'd say maybe only a mother could love, but I don't even know. I don't even know then. So yeah, booty things are going well. Things are going well. We've had a number of series that have kicked off the new year. Xxxi is doing really well. You all seem to be really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying Xxxi as well. It's got some really interesting moments to it, or at the very least it can have some very interesting moments. So I'm looking forward to seeing where, you know, the story is going to go for Sand and Park and their new friends as they start to join them. Already it's gone in a slightly different direction than I was initially thinking it was going to go, but that's what I kind of enjoy about it. I enjoy being surprised by it. So we have that. And those of you who are quick on the draw will notice that as the town hall has gone live, another video has also gone live as well, and that is Logan's Tale. Logan is back, and Leon is back tomorrow. Ashes will be coming out next week as well. Everything is going to be rolling back onto the channel now. So, without any major technical difficulties, everything should be running smoothly at this stage, which is crazy, I know, but so far it's working out for us. So again, I say, crossing my fingers, that it should be like that each week from, you know, essentially here on out. Janet and Nanania, well, thank you. Let's see if Janet is awake today.
Felt bad that I will miss tonight. Have fun, heart.
Well, you're here now. You're here at the start. And yes, good evening, good morning, good day to wherever all of you are. Kind of spread throughout the world. You would watch Xxxi Spicy Cheese, but you have absolutely no idea what it is. Well, I highly recommend you check it out. Xxxi is a sandbox survival game. Squad-based sandbox survival game, I'd say. It's unique. It's definitely unique. I haven't seen anything that's quite like it at this stage, and that's what makes it kind of intriguing to me. It's kind of a mix between like an adventure game, an RTS, and like your kind of normal survival game. The setting is just really freaking cool as well, so I'm enjoying telling some stories with that. Quijin, I do have a updated schedule. The about hasn't been updated yet. So on the most recent videos that have come out, and in the update video that I did, which was essentially releasing the update schedule, all the information is in there essentially. It will be updated on the channel as well. Gina, thank you very much for the super chat. Highly appreciate that. Asher, I'm glad to have XCOM back as well, and XCOM's running really well at this stage. I have had problems with XCOM in the past, but right now it's running really, really well. Whose birthday is it? Cap. I'm looking to see. Happy birthday! I'm trying to see who it is in the chat there. CapCG. Oh, CapCG, there I go. Right there. It just took me a second to see. Cap, happy birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day. Enjoy yourself. Well, Marcus, I'm glad that you have been able to find that addiction that is Cataclysm, because it is an addiction. It is very hard to stop once you have started, and it'll capture you for a very, very long time. It's good like that. I find the technicals, Pringles, you know, I feel like they can be a little short-lived sometimes. It's a tough role that they fulfill. So if you did join, there's a chance you wouldn't make it. Yes, Crazy Spanish Sky, you are correct. I did have Logan scheduled to come out exactly when the Townhall starts, because I'm incredibly smart like that. That was totally intentional. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. So, I won't blame you if you want to head away from this and you want to go and watch Logan now. I understand that. I totally understand that. It has been a long time since we've had Logan, and many of you will be happy to know that this is essentially the final episode of that DLC. I like and I dislike that DLC for one reason. It's difficult to run, and you'll notice that Logan actually makes reference to that in this coming episode, where things don't seem to run properly in there at all. And it was a different outcome to where I was expecting it to take him, so it's put him on a slightly different path to what I thought he'd be coming out of there. But that's the thing, I'm always open to those changes. Yeah, it is a bit of a fourth wall break, but it works well in the setting that he's in, because essentially he's in a simulation right now. So things not working well, bugs and lag essentially, are things that can happen within that simulation, and so it's great. I don't have to spend like hours and hours and hours doing something to try and get rid of, you know, hiccups or anything in that scene. So I'm happy with it. Yeah, Para, I know. Thank you very much for the link there, Duck. Super Dude, I'm not sure. I'm always trying to come up with different ones, and that's a tough thing. I think once you've got like a few that are established, it can be tough to come up with like variations on them and not have them sound like just variations of the same thing. Yeah, I find it's like good to have like a very, very good like mind or mental picture of the character that you're trying to voice, just so that you don't drift into others, because it's really super easy to drift into other characters after a while. Valkyrie, I have played a lot of Crusader Kings 2. I haven't played any of Stellaris, but I've played a lot of Crusader Kings 2. And I've had a lot of fun with them in the past. That's the kind of game that I think we might be able to do a live stream for on the channel. Something that I wouldn't turn into like a major series or anything like that, but late one evening my time, I might end up doing a few streams like that occasionally, so stay tuned on that one. Crusader Kings 2 could very, very easily be one of those games that I decide to have a little bit of a dive into. Eolin, Zealand is coming back very, very soon, and I know I keep saying that. We're recording the very first session, the very first chapter of Season 3, February the 16th, I believe. It's the 16th that we're recording it. So, theoretically, if everything goes okay with the editing process for that, it'll start coming out the week after that. And we've had some interesting experiences over the 5-year time skip, and it's been 5 years. A lot's happened in that time. A lot. For some people, a lot more. Others, you know, yeah, a little less. So over the last day and a few days before that, I was running a few session zeros for some new characters that we will see at some point. And needless to say, it was freaking mad. Absolutely mad. Exceeded all my expectations of what everyone was going to do. And yeah, I think everyone's had a hell of a journey to get up to this point that we're at now, 5 years in. Pringles, thank you very much for the super chat. Janet, wake up. Come on. Yes, eventually it is going to drop today. You're 100% right. And I have to admit, I love the art. If you haven't seen it yet, there is some fantastic art done by Stately Raven, commissioned for Pringles. And it's a fantastic piece of work. It's a fantastic piece of work. And in saying that, all the fan art that has been created over the month is going to be appearing in the Mojave Express, which we'll be releasing next week. So you can look forward to seeing all of those goodies pop up there. Melissa, it is time. It is time to binge watch. Indeed, indeed. What I'm going to be doing at the start of Season 2, though, is kind of collating things a little bit in terms of what's happened in Season 1 and Season 2. We have a pretty good idea of what's happened in Season 1. Well, here she is. Here she is. Well, the alert's here at the very least. We'll see if she...
My time as Lawton will soon come to an end, and I hope whoever takes my place enjoys the prestige. BTW,
okay.
I'm taking the Pringles Ken throne with me.
I don't know where Janet got the idea that she was Lawton, but yeah, Pringles, you've sat on that throne well. You can take that Pringles one away. We'll get the regular one back out, but yeah. Oh yeah, Frugo. So it doesn't get that high. So what I try to do for both Fallout, Ashes, and Skyrim, I try to upscale them to 4K when I'm exporting. However, when the episodes are long, it can make the encode times run up to as much as like 5 to 6 hours. So if things work out well in the editing process and I have the time to do it, I will try to upload it in 4K. It does mean that it's like a 14 gig file. It's more the encoding time than anything that takes the longest, bit of time in that whole post-production pipeline. But yeah. Janet is discriminating against you, Pringles. She's trying to take it. Freaky. I briefly mentioned that Bran could go down the medical mutations. I mean, he would love to test it out on a living subject first. 100%. We haven't found anyone. I'm kind of not surprised just based upon how the city is and just how much stuff is around. When we've been moving around, beneath the ground, we have heard a lot of activity above us. That could be NPCs. It could be NPCs that are kind of combating some of the various forces that are above us, but I don't foresee anyone being as skilled or at the point where Bran is at the moment, so he can survive on the surface now. He can survive against pretty good numbers, but even then, he still can be torn down. It's entirely possible, and so there are other NPCs that have had a very, very similar experience, except they don't have the luxury of being as prepared. Spicy, there will be some D&D content. However, it's not going to be soon. Probably still a few months away at this stage. I don't have a set date on it, but it 100% is coming out this year. It is starting this year. I can say that much. I'm sorry that the stream's so low for you, but I will do my best to keep my eye out for your questions, A-Race. You won't go unnoticed. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, there is a beta for Skyrim Together. I haven't touched any of that yet. I have really enjoyed the multiplayer Morrowind mod in the past. It's been really, really, really well done. But yeah, I think it would take me a little bit before I start trying to get into that. Purely just because I don't like to muck around with Skyrim too much. Purely because Leon's an old man in that game. You know, his save file's been around for a while. The way that it's built has been it's been that way for a very, very long time. So I'm always nervous to make changes. I do a lot of backups, but yeah. Pringles, I'm glad you are, and thank you for mentioning the shirt. For those of you who don't know, we have this magnificent thing. I'm going to take my headset off for this. There we go. We nearly knocked over the green screen, but that's okay. We have our first piece of merchandise, and I'm super happy with how it looks. It does feature our man, Leonidas Aventus, looking completely badass, and Duck, you're a miracle worker. You're a miracle worker. But yeah, I'm super happy with how it's turned out. And I'm in the process of pulling together Logan's first piece as well. And if it turns out as to how I'm hoping it will, it's going to be excellent. So you can probably expect that, I'd say probably by March, if everything goes well in that design process. Following Logan, I'm going to be putting a poll out there to see what the next iteration is, or what the next character is that you'd like to see done in a similar style. Essentially, it is going to be a similar style, a similar run. So the kind of heavy metal shirt run, we'll call it. But I'm really happy with how it's come out. It's a comfortable t-shirt. Yeah, I'm super happy. I couldn't be, yeah, more impressed with how it's come out. I'm happy. I was afraid that, you know, it might be either the print, the design, something like that will come out cheap, but it's good. Leif was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Leif. And his end was just as surprising, but it's an end that I think a lot of people in Cataclysm have experienced. And usually that's the thing. It comes out of nowhere sometimes. You don't see it coming in Cataclysm. Gets you out the blue. Nathan, no, he is both. He is both. But there is a very good reason. There is a very good reason why we haven't seen Leon wolf out, so to speak, since, well, the last time he did, like, officially wolf out was at the end of that Dawnguard arc, where he really started changing in other aspects. So yeah, there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes in that. But you're right. He hasn't changed. He hasn't changed since. But there's still stuff there. There's still stuff there. Only thing I will say is we'll try and keep the Zealand spoilers to a minimum, just because not everyone will have read the skips in the background, and a fair amount of that will be covered in the opening of Season 3. So we'll try and keep spoilers just down to a minimum, just in case. But yeah, a lot has happened in the 5 years. A lot. If you can't wait until Season 3, and you want a little bit of a peek behind the curtain as to what's been happening over those 5 years for some of the characters, you are able to find that on Stormforge Productions' main website. There is a Zealand section on that, and there is a whole outline skip. I believe it's up to the first few years at this stage. I don't know if there's been the final 5-year skip for many of the characters, but a lot's happened, a lot's gone down. We're going to be looking at a very different game going into Season 3. And the idea with Season 3 as well, and with any kind of subsequent season like that, is it's meant to be a jumping on point for people as well. So if you haven't seen Zealand before, it is a time where you can jump into it, because there will be, you know, essentially recaps in a sense to get you up to speed. Pringles, yeah, the silver armor definitely did, and the silver armor was a cage for a long time, and eventually we saw that cage break. We saw that cage fail. It failed rather spectacularly. we're going to start seeing some more subtle developments that have been happening with Leon. And that's the thing, they will be subtle. Not everything will be very, very easy to detect, but there are some changes going on for that man. Honey, 100%. Cataclysm, you learn through death, essentially. Yeah, Bastion, thing is, even the control scheme can be a little daunting at first as well. Opening, closing doors. Kairos, I have played the Michonne spin-off of Telltale's game, The Walking Dead. It's a long name. I have. I really enjoyed it back in the day. I don't know if I'll be going back towards those. I wanted to do Season 3. I was waiting essentially until Season 3 had finished. Then obviously the Telltale collapse happened. But now Skybound being the solid company they are, they've picked it up, they're developing it, they're continuing it, they're finishing it, which is great. So I'd like to have that on the channel, but I don't think I'm going to do it right now. And Pringles, goddamn no. Get out. Get out. I have my Super Saiyan 3 look going on. Six Skulls. I haven't thought of doing a Let's Play of any of the Redemption games, purely just because they're on console. I do have access to consoles now, but the capturing equipment and everything else that's necessary to go along with that, I do not possess. So I won't be looking at the recording on console route for a very long time, I think. Yeah, Bastion, you're 100% right. That's exactly what I should be doing. That would be incredibly weird, because I know, look, I'm aware, I talk with my eyebrows. There is a lot of this that goes on all the time that can be mesmerizing. How about the Metro games? Weird fact, I haven't actually ever played any of the Metro games before. I know they are great games, but I haven't touched them. Not yet. But I won't say that's a no to that. It's a maybe somewhere down the line. It's the same thing with Stalker as well, where I have played a little bit of Stalker in the past. They're really good games, and I feel like you do have a chance to tell, a pretty damn good story in them. But yeah, they're quite far down that list. Bastion, you're 100% right. I would look like I'm gonna murder someone. David, nothing from Oblivion on the horizon at this stage. It isn't to say that there won't be, anything at all. If anything, there is a chance that we might do something like Seeking Sovngarde in Oblivion, so not doing a full-blown roleplay of it, but rather doing something more akin to that. And the main reason I would be doing a series like that rather than a full-blown roleplay is a roleplay edit will take me 6 to 7 hours, whereas a regular edit, say of like Frost, that takes me around about 15 minutes total to get that thing done. So it's much more easier for me to produce those ones. If I was to add another roleplay into the schedule, it would throw a lot of other things out. We might start seeing things just coming out, just one, every 2-3 weeks, which I'm wanting to avoid that. So yeah, there is a chance that we might do something like Seeking, but for Oblivion, where, it will be roleplay light, I like to call it, where we are still role-playing the characters, we are still letting the decisions kind of guide the character, but rather, I'm not always voicing the character, it's not, filled with multiple different cinematics and the rest. Oh, see, that's tough, Eolyn. That's tough. I feel like that permadeath element adds quite a bit to it, and with it being Oblivion as well, it means that we'd be able to explore a number of different character paths. That's not my profile pic. That's Pringles. That's Pringles up there. Maybe eventually, Lucas. It's something that I mean, it's something that he has pushed away from himself for a very, very long time. But I think, especially with Serana, the influence that Serana has had on him has made him much more accepting of things that aren't the norm. The way that Serana sees her curse, she doesn't see it so much as a curse. And so Leon's been leaning more that way. He still has a hatred for what he is. Not so much the blood side of things, because the blood came from Serana. And so for him to hate that, it's not something that he can hate. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Mr. Akeldama. I think we're good there. But Alyssa, thank you for coming along. Thank you for attending the town hall. I appreciate you being here, sharing your time. It's been good. We'll see you next time. Callisto, have I started practicing, or rather playing, Dwarf Fortress yet? I have played a little bit of Dwarf Fortress. I'm not that great. I'm terrible. I'm absolutely terrible at Dwarf Fortress. But it's something that I'd like to get good at eventually. And it's something that I might try my hand at eventually as well. But yeah, I haven't got very far in that game before. In saying that, I know that's exactly the same experience that a lot of people have in Cataclysm, and it's just you learn through failing, and that's just what I got to do in Dwarf Fortress. Just got to play it enough, fail enough to get good enough to really do something with it. Grackle, can you use mutagens on poultry? I don't know if we can. I don't know if Bran would. Maybe the ducks. He doesn't have an emotional connection to the ducks. He does to his 3 hatchlings, but yeah. Nathan, do you think having a YouTube channel such as yours is a sustainable source of income? I'm only asking because I've thought of making it a similar channel. Okay, so not easy. It's not easy. You know, the thing is, with advertising on YouTube, there will be a lot of fluctuation. You can never really know exactly how well you're going to be doing on a month. And usually, because the way the analytics work, what you're seeing is a month behind, give or take. So making course corrections can be a little difficult. And sometimes you can overcorrect in the wrong direction. And yeah, it's not easy. But it can be incredibly rewarding. It's something where I'd say you'd 100% want to be doing it with, you know, something else on the side in addition to. So I still do quite a bit of freelance camera work on the side outside of the channel. And that's sometimes why the schedule will be slightly disrupted, because I might need to take a day or two here or there working on something else. But then what also makes it possible is Patreon. Would 100% not be possible without Patreon. Without Patreon, we'd probably be looking at maybe, you know, 1 roleplay a week, and, you know, maybe just 2 other series on top of that. So it makes a massive difference. It means that we can have, you know, a wide array of content, where before we you know, I really couldn't have that on the channel. There just wasn't enough time to do that, so it's really opened the door for what's possible in a big way. But I'm not saying it's impossible. It's difficult. It's not a easy path by any means, but you know, sometimes the most difficult paths are the most rewarding. And it's definitely rewarding. You know, it's rewarding in different ways outside of just financial means. You know, in terms of motivation, in terms of getting up in the morning and creating material, just knowing that there are people out there who, you know, their entertainment can mean a lot for them. So yeah, I mean, that's a huge motivational factor. So it's kind of more about, like, where are your priorities? Yeah. I'd say if you're wanting to make a fortune, don't do it. But if you're wanting to pursue something that you really, really enjoy, 100% do it. Vormifrax, how's it going, buddy? For all of you who are wondering how you might learn Cataclysm, how you might get better at Cataclysm, Vormifrax's channel is a great place to go. He has his Cataclysm University series and another of short little snippet series that serve as kind of perfect tutorials for the game. So if you ever want to learn how to play, best place to do it, 100%. But yes, it is time to announce the Lotum. The Lotum is the Legionnaire of the month. It is a member of you all, the Legion, who has gone above and beyond in some form or fashion. Our previous Legionnaire of the month, our previous Lotum, the very first of the year, was Pringles. Pringles, you have served us well. Very well, in fact. Creating the first piece of Lotum fan art ever. That's something. So, with that, we're going to be lowering your flag. Boom. Just like that. You're gone. Now, I don't have a drum roll prepared this time. So the rest of you, drum roll with me if you can. I know this isn't a very good one. It's very far away from the microphone. The Legionnaire of the month for February. We'll let Janet jump in here. We'll let Janet jump in here first. Nanania?
Sorry, I hate to go. Did I miss anything?
Not yet. Not yet. Janet jumping in there. Janet jumping the gun. 100%. Our Legionnaire of the month for this month is BAM! Some Dead Guy. For those of you who have been following Cataclysm for a while, may have potentially seen in the comments for Cataclysm, Some Dead Guy offering me a large array of advice on how better to improve my Cataclysm experience. Not only that, but Some Dead Guy has done a lot for Cataclysm, the game itself, over the last few months. Probably longer still. I don't know how long he's been working on a lot of his material, but it is making a massive, massive difference to not only my Cataclysm series, but others out there as well. So Some Dead Guy is the creator of the Dead People texture pack on Cataclysm and is pushing things further and further. So yeah, I'm just really excited to see where it's going to go, because in terms of tiles and Cataclysm, there have been a number of just evolutionary steps along the way, and there are a whole heap more coming from Some Dead Guy at the moment, and I am very, very impressed. So yes, he has been revived and held up as the Lotum for the month. So congratulations. Well done. Well done. So we'll jump back into some more questions. Unfortunately, my coffee is dry. It is the morning here still. It's a Sunday morning, in fact. Early in the morning. But we're doing okay. Mr. Aquildana. Loving Kenshi at the moment. Are you going to continue with a character if Sand and his crew bite the dust? Yeah, more than likely. We would go in a very different direction. Should all of Sand's squad die? And that's the thing, is like, Sand can die. We'll continue with the rest. But should the whole squad get wiped out, or a large enough number of them, we will pick up somewhere else in the world of Kenshi. You know, role-playing with a new group, a new squad. So yeah. Woozy, thank you very much for coming along. Appreciated you being here. Aolin. Unfortunately, we don't have a date for the D&D series at this stage. We're essentially, what we're going to be doing first is running a test game off camera with our existing group and some new members that we're bringing into it as well. Just to see how, like, the group dynamics are, how we flow together. Once that seems like solid, we'll be bringing it. But like, you won't miss it. There'll be a lot of announcements that come before then. There isn't any word on a RimWorld series yet, but should the schedule start flowing with a little bit more ease, then it's something that I would definitely have a look at. Callisto, New Zealand is having a little bit of a heat wave. I wouldn't say it's a massive heat wave. It's incredibly hot. I know Triton would disagree with me and say it's the end of the world. Yeah, it's nowhere near as hot as it is in Australia, but it's still very, very hot. Right now, all the doors and windows are closed to keep the cicadas out, because if they were open, you can probably... Oh no, they're being quiet at the moment. They're being quiet at the moment, but yeah, more often than not, you can hear them blasting, and cicadas in Solstheim don't make a lot of sense. So when I'm recording Leon, for example, everything is shut down, and it gets incredibly hot, to the point that I actually, when I'm recording any of the actual role plays, I have ice packs, like these large ice packs, like on my chest and on my back, because it's that hot. It's crazy. Yeah. Pringles, I do not, yeah, I'm not jealous of you. 40 degrees, that's something else, bud. Congratulations, Asher. I hope it's fun. Hope you have a hell of a time. Yeah, Eowyn, ice packs, they work good. They work great. They work really, really well. Each week I order like this grocery box, and it comes with like these large kind of ice packs in them. I just hold on to those. I've got about 4 or 5 of them now. It's great. It's really good. Yeah, I know. The US is freezing at the moment as well. Don't be nervous, Asher. Trust in the rolls, and should they go against you, well, there ain't much you can do about that. For Elemental, armor and weapons are very unbalanced in D&D. I don't know, like, I've played a fair amount. I don't know if I'd say it's unbalanced. It's just... That's a tough thing. Like when you have like a role-playing game, getting stuff that works both in like a game sense, but then also like in a narrative sense, can be difficult sometimes. It's a lot of that's down to the GM and how they interpret actions and the rest. In Zealand, for example, you know, the rules, just like in D&D, are meant to be a guideline. If something, you know, just doesn't work in terms of like the situation, even though like the roles are kind of making or saying that that's what's happening, you find a way that makes it work within reality. Yeah. I love that everyone's just having temperature. It's a temperature competition at the moment. Tommy, no, not HelloFresh. It's a it's another one called My Food Bag. My Food Bag. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so not HelloFresh, but it's very, very similar. We do have HelloFresh in New Zealand as well. Have I thought about doing video suggestions, asking for cool mods, etc. for Frost and Cataclysm? I haven't. I always take mod suggestions though, so whenever anyone, you know, suggests them in the comments, I go through, I study up on them, I learn about them. So the comments are generally the best place to do that on like each respective video. Michael, definitely looking forward to that turning point in Cole's personal story. Yeah, well, needless to say, the next episode of Ashes, some pretty big shit goes down. Yeah, it's fun. It was a lot of fun, but goddamn. Thoughts on Outer Worlds? I'm super excited about it. I'm trying not to watch too much on it because I like to have like quite a fresh perspective going into a game, and I know a lot of that can be influenced by, you know, game journalists. It's very, very easy to pick up on like a specific negative or a specific positive point and just focus on those things. So I try to stay like aware of it, definitely aware of where it is in terms of its progress, in terms of its release, but I try not watch too much or listen to too many reviews and, you know, theory crafting and the rest before the game's actually out. But I'm excited. I'm super freaking excited for it. Tommy, do you think we'll live to see Bannerlord? Yeah, I do. And the thing with Bannerlord is yes, it's taking a long time to come out, and it's a meme at this stage that it's taking such a long time to come out, but, you know, you only get a chance to release once. Warband is a solid game. I don't know if it was always solid. I wasn't playing Warband on release, but it's a pretty solid game, and I think they want to have that continue. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to play that. Like, it's going to be very hard to do anything else but that when it comes out. I'm very, very excited about that. And that excitement has stayed at this kind of, like, bubbling level for a very, very long time. It's the kind of thing where I think eventually they might not even build up hype for it. They'll just say, here it is, it's out, it's on Steam, there you go, boom, done. Mr. Akeldama, have I heard of Flight of the Conchords? Yes, I have. I've worked one of their concerts before, and I've worked with Jermaine before on a television show here in New Zealand. They're both very cool guys. I've also sat behind Jermaine on a plane. There you go. It's New Zealand. It's a very small place, so yeah, most people have had encounters of some kind. Eolin, curious, why are you standing rather than sitting? I felt like standing today. I just felt like it'd be a different way to kind of do the town hall rather than just, you know, sitting back. Keeps me up, keeps me engaged. I'm actually quite tired today as well. Getting up this morning wasn't as easy. I had quite a late night last night, running essentially a session 0 for a few folks in Zealand, and yeah. It always goes for much longer than I think it's going to go. The first session we did, well, I say session 0. I've essentially done 2 session 0s, which one was an extension of the last. The first one I did went for 12 hours. I didn't think it was going to go for 12 hours. I thought we'd be going for a few hours. We went for 12 hours in the end. But essentially, it's difficult to compress 5 years into 1 or 2 sessions. So that's essentially what I was trying to do, compress 5 years of activity into that time. And it's possible, just difficult. Would I consider doing a roleplay in Enderall? 100%. It's an incredible mod, absolutely amazing mod. And yeah, something that I would like to roleplay in the future, 100%. The question is just where and when and how do we fit that into the schedule, at what point do we do that? Yeah. Nanania, how am I? I'm good. I'm good. And Bastion, you're 100% right. I am just floating now. Yeah. It's great. Levitation. Works wonders. And yeah, Sub-Zero has just released for Subnautica. It is still in early access at this stage, so it's not something that I would make a roleplay out of, you know, for that. I mean, honestly, I really wanted to make a roleplay out of Subnautica. I still do. I still do. But with how the roleplay schedule is at the moment, I can't add in anything else at this stage, but eventually I will be wanting to add something in, and that's where I will be kind of deferring to all of you as to like what you want to see the most, because I know I've teased a Dishonored roleplay for a very, very long time. That is something that I would really want to get out, but at the same time I would put other games on the table as well, doing a Subnautica story. There'd be options. There'd be options. Yeah, Eolin, 5 years is a lot, but what I kind of what I've really liked with it is that, you know, when they turn up, it's not just going to be like, you know, having a vague idea of what's happened to them. They know, like, they've been through it, they've lived it, so they're going to be a lot more rounded. I did see another question there. Let's see. Yeah, Enderall does feel like a completely separate mod. Oh, sorry, it's separate game, is what I meant to say. Separate game, completely separate game. Martin, Ashes is coming along well. It is back next week, along with everything else. We're going to have Leon tomorrow. Cloning me? Yeah, cloning me would be great. Or if I had a hyperbolic time chamber, that would also be good. Yeah. I'd be super happy about that. If I had about, like, you know, 42 hours in a 24-hour period, that'd be great. That'd be really good. We're looking at 48. Maths. Question: what happens in these streams? It's essentially just a hangout. It's a hangout. It's us just talking. You can ask me questions and I answer them. That's how it rolls. Yeah, Eowlin, I would age twice as fast, so I guess at the end of the day, it would still be the same amount of possible work in a lifetime. So, yeah, I think I need a hyperbolic time chamber, and I'd also need, you know, slowed aging to improve that, yeah. 7 Days to Die is a really good fun game as well. I haven't played it in quite a few years now, but that's something that I did used to play with Triton back in the day, a fair bit. Oh, welcome. Okay, yeah. So you're new from Kenshi. You're fresh onto the channel then. I haven't seen Imperator Rome. There's actually, I've been trying to find it. It is on Netflix now. I did some extra work last year in a Rome series, and it's on Netflix now. And I've been putting it on my list of to-do things to see if I can find the scenes that I'm in that. I had a lot of fun working on that thing, I tell you. But also, the life of an extra, I do not feel jealous of. A lot of waiting. A lot of waiting. The 7 Days to Die servers go down. I don't know, like, were they... they weren't with Telltale, right? I'm not sure there. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I mean, there are still people playing 7 Days to Die at the moment, so they're operating somehow, so something's happening there. Do I like pizza? Yes. Yes, I do. A very, very easy question for me to answer there, truthfully. Nanania, thank you very much for the super chat again. We'll let Janet wake up and ask that question. Alara, who doesn't like mead? Mead's great. Mead's great. I've got a drinking horn as well. I don't use it as often as I should, but occasionally I break it out. You know what? I'm doing D&D this afternoon. I'm going to break it out for that. It's been long enough. Can of Pringles, what's my favorite pizza? That's a tough question. We have a pizza company in New Zealand called Hell's. They make some amazing gourmet pizza. My favorite from there is probably like this. It's almost like a satay pizza. It's like satay chicken on a pizza. It's really good. Really, really enjoy that. Delicious. Nanania, I don't know if Janet's going to wake up. She's probably going to yell at me about half an hour from now and give me a really big fright. That would be great. I would very much like that. Sweden would be amazing right now. I know especially Triton would enjoy that. Hot weather here is not easy to deal with. Yeah. Yeah, the way the things are situated as well, our lounge, where I spend most of my time, this is where I work up here as well. It's like a loft, and so all the heat rises throughout the rest of the house, and it just settles up here, and it's a little warm. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Janet, imagining she lives in Sweden.
How about you pack a bag and join me in the cold snow here in Sweden? It will be like winter hold.
I'm sure, Janet, I'm sure. And the Narnia, yes I would. Janet, no. Don't trust her. Not one bit. Ah, dear. What about the Long Dark? Long Dark, another one of those series that would very much fit in with that kind of vein of survival games that are infinitely role-playable. Be great. Be really good. Yeah, I haven't seen much of the actual story in it, but it's voiced by two of my favorite voice actors out there. Yeah. Alex, Dusk is still in hibernation for a little bit longer. She will be back 100%, but when she comes back, things are going to be a little different. It's not just going to be picking up from where she was. A bit of time will have passed, and there's some pretty good reasons for that. Her story is going to be taking her in a very kind of different direction to how it was going at that time. What is my Patronus? I believe it's a sparrow hawk. Sparrow hawk. Not a sparrow, just like a little sparrow. No, a sparrow hawk. Yeah, according to Pottermore, of course. Target? I don't know. I don't know. Akira is blessed by some god of the wasteland. She's got more life left in her. She's easily the most prepared that we've had out of any character so far. And you know what? One of the main reasons that I think she is still alive, where the others haven't lived, is she learnt to let go. It's painted on the wall. It's painted on the wall at the start of the game. One of the main reasons that she has lived as long as she has is she's let go. She's let go of who she was before, and she's changed. She's adapted. You know, morally not into a better person by any means, but it's driven her to, yeah, push things. Yeah, the crossbow was good while it was there. As soon as she started losing that sanity, nope, that thing is no good. It is no good for no one. The next episode is going to be interesting for many of you, I'm sure. There's a little bit of nostalgia. But also there are some very difficult decisions that need to be made. Not specifically in that episode, but in coming episodes, there is a big decision that will be made. So, yeah. Chase, what's my favorite D&D class to play? That's really difficult to choose. At the moment, I'm currently playing a Warlock and a Tempest Cleric. I don't know, like, I think it's tough to have a favorite. I've never been very much of like a spell-heavy person. So like in Skyrim, for example, I always lean more towards the martial characters. In any kind of game, I always lean more to the martial characters. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I could just pick one. Target, that's the thing. We're so far with Akira that at this stage we probably wouldn't have a new Frost character. Not to say that we wouldn't have a series similar to Frost. There would be something like that. It just wouldn't be in Frost because we've experienced a lot of Frost. There is still more of it to experience for sure. But to go through that kind of build-up period again, I think for a lot of people, it would be too much. It would be too much. I know for me personally as well, it'd be a little too much after all of the progress that we've made so far. I mean, we're 70 odd episodes in, 73, 74, I think at this stage. So she's been around for a while. So much so that I think not in the episode that's coming, and the episode after that, I'm going to pull up her statistics so that we can actually see like how many chems she's taken, how many kills she's made, how many ghouls she's taken down, because it's been a while, so it'll be intriguing to see that. No spoilers, no spoilers. I just okay, sorry, I spoiled something here. Shh. Ignore everything I just said. Ignore everything I just said. I nearly just spoiled things myself. Okay, so we are approaching the end of the town hall. We're going to enter a lightning round of questions. We've got about 5 minutes left at this stage. If you have any questions you want to get out before the end, start firing those away, and I will answer them as quickly as I can. Have I played Shadow of War? No, I have not, but I think they're cool. Akira is most certainly making the Wendigo jealous. Massively so. Will I play Dwarf Fortress? Eventually. Somewhere down the line, but who knows when the hell that could be. Marmite or Russian roulette? You know what? I'm going to go with Marmite. Pancakes or waffles? The instant reaction is pancakes, but I probably would have gone with waffles. Have I thought about playing Red Dead or RE2? Oh, Resident Evil 2. That's a maybe. There's also a lot of voicing in that would be difficult to get rid of, so it's a maybe. Nanania, where's the tattoo video? It's on its way. Ish. It's on its way, ish. How much sand can sand walk with? A lot. Many bags full. Is there going to be another X hours live stream sometime soon? I'd hope so. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna look at doing one of those. Shadowrun or D&D? D&D, but I do love Shadowrun, and I've been spending like months learning the system. Am I going to start another RimWorld playthrough? Yes, more than likely, and it's another one eventually. Morrowind. Yes. I do want to do something with Morrowind eventually. Probably more than likely something more multiplayer orientated. Favorite book? Ooh, that is a toughie. Okay, give me a second. Like immediately, first book that came to mind, Into the Wild. Would I consider having Akira go into a full Fallout 4 playthrough? No. Just because permadeath, while harsh, it's fair to everyone that's come before. Morrowind does have a pretty comprehensive multiplayer mod. Favorite candy? White chocolate Lindt. So you know the Lindt, the chocolate making company, they do like kind of a white chocolate thing. It's really good. It's real good. It's delicious. It's good chocolate. Will you do the companions finally with Leon? Might be a little difficult to do. Again, reasons. Leon did try to return to them. He did try to return to them, but they were absent. There was a note on the left on the hall, but the companions were not there. The hall was empty. Cake or death? Cake. Dream channel to collaborate with. That is a very hard question that I have to think quite a long time about before I say anything. What are your thoughts on the Kingdom Hearts series? Amazing. Great. Really, really cool. I'd love to play through them myself eventually, somewhere down the line. Not as like a series, but just actually play them. I haven't had a lot of consoles before, so I haven't had the opportunity to play them, but they're definitely games that I want to play the hell out of. 100%. Will I play more Kenshi? Yeah. I'm looking at increasing the release, because at this stage Kenshi is a 1 episode per week kind of gig. We might look at bumping that up to 2. We'll see how that goes, but I'm really enjoying Kenshi at the moment. Where is the Express? It is coming this week. It'll more than likely be at the end of this week that's on its way. How tall am I? I'm 170 centimeters, which I think works out to be like 5'6/7". I am not tall. Bread or poppadoms? Poppadoms. RevTech or Leadworks? Leadworks. Am I ever going to make another go of Kingdom Come Deliverance? More than likely not. Cats or dogs? Dogs. This is actually a lightning round. This is the first time we've actually had a proper lightning round where I haven't got stuck on something for a long period of time. Dark Souls. I mean, like, Dark Souls, I want to do something really special with. I want to make that into a full-fledged roleplay, start to finish. Hell of a lot of fun with that. Briefly talked about Subnautica earlier. That is one of those games that when there is a gap in the schedule that needs to be filled, another roleplay that can get added into there, I will be putting Subnautica into the pool with everything else and letting you all decide what you want to see. What kind of dog? Greyhound. If I had to pick, that's just the first one that came to mind. Paradox or Bethesda? Ooh. I know what I want to say. I want to say Bethesda, but it would be Paradox right now. When am I going to grow my beard again? There is no set time on that. Probably not for a good long while. I feel like I probably won't go back to the beard for a good bit. Bethesda has been making a lot of bad decisions lately. They have. But guys and gals, we are at the end of today's stream. Thank you all for joining me. It's been a blast. I've had a good time hanging out with all of you here. We're going to do this again at the end of the next month. The end / the start. It varies a little bit, but I do appreciate when you are able to make it here. I know globally it isn't always easy to make time zones sync up. I try to get it as round as I possibly can, but the fact that you're here, you've been able to ask some questions, we've been able to hang out, I've been able to share a little bit of information, makes a big difference. Because whenever people ask questions in the comments, some of you will know those answers. I'm not always going to be able to get to, every single one of them, so it's great. It just keeps us all informed, it keeps us all in the loop, and it keeps us together. A strong legion, one might say. But we're going to be wrapping things up. I'd like to extend a massive thank you to all the patrons, again, that continue to make this possible, that provide the content that you see here on this channel. Wouldn't be here otherwise. It'd be a hell of a lot less, I can tell you that much. That's us. Thanks for making it along. I've had a blast. I've been Rycon. You have all been awesome. That's Gallag the Guard wandering around in the background. And until next time, stay tuned.